So let's do we'll do a little bit of a mixture of whiteboard, and I'll show you my planner and blah blah. So your
Yep.
question is how to get the most out of it, right? Is that kind of your
Yeah,
overall question?
literally. That's
Yeah.
basically it.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. So I've been using the system for how many years? I don't know, 10 years, 15 years. And then we started creating our own about 5 years ago, because we couldn't get hold of the system anymore. And so the time blocking, recording your plan plus your actual. And then we've obviously it's grown arms and legs from there. We just keep on improving it and making it better. So I'm going to show you, like, this is holiday time, and most people don't use a diary in the holidays, but this is even like yesterday. That's yesterday. So that's a pretty bad day for me in terms of detail. But I still have in there, I've still written down 4 life goals. I've still written down 5 gratefuls, and I've still got a whole bunch of actions, and I've still blocked them in, and I've recorded my actual, even though we were most of the day at the beach. Yeah. Because I can still look back and go, I could have planned this better. I could have done this better. You can even learn, just the goal from the system is to learn and get 1% better every day. If you look back on Tuesday and Wednesday, you can see it's way more full on, right? Those are full on working days. Yeah. So the first thing you do, there's a few things. Have you got a pen handy?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So a few things that are really critical is, and write these down, is plan your week. Like, that's really key. So you get your routine out of the front of the planner. So I'm going to go through to that template now. And if you haven't filled this in, then have a crack at this. And you can use a pencil, or you can use a pen if you want to, and then just twink it out if you need to. But there's my daily routine template right at the front of the planner. And from that, when I plan my week ahead, those are all my regular meetings and my regular routine. I can just block those straight into my planner. Yeah. So all these tools at the front of the planner to help you make planning easier and give you more clarity and all these things. So that you're not spinning your wheels, wasting your time looking for information. It's all there in the planner. So if you go from your daily routine template, then you block out the whole week ahead. For example, if I look at any week in anywhere in my planner, let's go back to July even, right? I'm going back to July. I can see I've blocked in MR, which is my morning routine. I've booked in my CT, which is my creative time. And then all my meetings that are booked in my Outlook calendar are also in here. So this is my one source of truth. And this will make your life so much easier if it's your one source of truth. So I still use my online calendar for all my meetings, right? Because I use Calendly to book my meetings. By the way, that's a really good tool as well. If you are not already using it, use Calendly. I book 99% of my meetings on there because it's so fast. So I just review my calendar on either a Saturday or a Sunday, review my digital calendar, make sure it aligns with this calendar here, and that's all blocked in. And so these are all my commitments that I already know, and they're all blocked in. So by the time you finish planning on the weekend, 50% of your week is blocked out, or 40% at least, So you've got, let's say your morning routine is from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. And that might contain things like, your reading, your shower, your prayer, your meditation, whatever that might be, all those things. And that's that first hour of the day. So you can block that all out in the planner. And when I say block it out, it looks like this. So you actually take a pen and block it out with a pen. So you go MR and then block it out. So you actually do a little scribble like that. I don't know if you can see my pen, like a little arrow, and then scroll down, another little arrow. And that way, what you're doing there is that you're committing to yourself that block of time. Time blocking is crazy powerful, because when you wake up in the morning, you're chasing the time blocks, and most people don't. There's all this slop in between, right? And that's where people lose time, is because they're not time blocking. They go, oh yeah, I'll do this at 6. And then there's no end time to it. It might be 6:45 or 7, but you're always chasing these time blocks. Does that make sense? So it's like it's like setting these mini targets all day long, and they're all preset. And then
you've always got something to work towards.
Yeah. Do you see the power of that?
Yeah, absolutely. My sister Mindy, she actually does it, and she always says, I need to do it.
Yeah, nice. So she's doing a good job of it. That's awesome. Not many people do. Like, I would say it's like, who knows? It's got to be less than 1% of people actually use a system like this. But it's incredibly powerful. it's really the difference between whether you want to squeeze the most out of life or not. So if you don't worry, you just keep fudging your time. But most people that in our PBA community, they're serious about getting ahead. They're ambitious. They're people like you that want to get ahead in life. So I say, well, start. This is your scarcest resource. This is why I'm so passionate about sharing this tool with everybody, because everyone's like, oh yeah, I've switched to digital and yeah, it's working all right. Or I use a bit of a notebook and digital, and there's all sorts of hybrids. And as far as I can see, like, I've tried lots of apps, I've tried lots of diaries, I've tried all sorts of things over the last 23 years of business, but this really like puts it all into one tool. And even adding in things like just jumping off topic, but even adding in things like the life goals, the gratefuls, your fitness notes, your learning notes, even those things are really helpful. Even if you're having a crappy day and you haven't blocked your day out properly, you can write down some things you're grateful for, lift your spirits a bit, and you push on, you'll get a little bit more out of your day. So they're all designed to work together. Or your life goals, one of your life goals might be to build your dream house, or improve your fitness and physique, or get married, or whatever your goal might be next. Is you can keep writing it down every flipping day, and it adds that fuel every day, rather than writing it down once a month or once a week, or most people once a year.
That's very powerful. I didn't realize that's what it was for, that column.
That's what it's for. Yeah. So start using it. Like if I look at my life goals, I write down some different. Sometimes it's just always the same. And like I've got some financial goals that I want to achieve, so I write that down. But sometimes they change as well, so it helps you like actually get clear on what matters, because a lot of people write it down at New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, and then 6 months later they've either made no progress or that goal doesn't even matter anymore. Whereas by writing it down every day, which is a really powerful tip, it's a really powerful hack actually. It might be build your dream house, and it might be something you've wanted to do for 5 years. Just keep writing it down, and it doesn't go away, and it's always in your mind. And so in the back of your head, whatever you're doing during the day, you're thinking, well, is this getting me closer to this big life goal?
Yeah, that's really interesting, and like the power of like having it like you. It's more of a vision as well, isn't it? Like it's constantly before you.
Yeah, it's like casting that vision over and over and over again. Correct. Yeah. And this is why, like, if you're in a leadership role like you are, one of my most important tips, and this all ties together, is that you're the CRO, the Chief Reminding Officer, because you've got to cast that vision over and over again. What's the mission of our company? What's the vision of our company? What are our core values? Where are we going together? And by doing it daily, like you do it that's why I say the morning meeting has to be daily, because you want to cast the vision daily. You want to beat the drum daily. If you do it every second day, it's just not the same. It's like going to the gym or doing fitness or eating healthy. If you eat healthy every second day, you're still not going to be a healthy person. But if you eat healthy every day, you're going to be a healthy person. You might have 1 or 2 crappy days during the year, but that's different. If you have them, you know what I'm saying? So like, same with workout in the gym. Like if I never miss a day of fitness ever now. Like, and that took me probably 20 years to build that habit. But now I never miss. It doesn't matter where I am, what I'm doing. There will be something. I'll be press ups, squats, running, something. Like the beach yesterday, press ups, surfing, blah blah blah. So whether it's with the family or not, there's no excuses, and that's important to me. And I know that if I don't beat that drum daily, if I miss one day, I'm going to feel crappy, and then the next day is going to be harder. So think of goals think of those life goals like fuel in the furnace of achievement. Yeah, it's like putting coals into the fire. Okay, so let's go back to so far you're writing down your action list. So you plan your week. I'm gonna write these up as we go. The most important things. So number 1, plan the week ahead. Even better if you can sit there and plan the month ahead. So I try and get all my clients to do that, is plan the whole month ahead, because there's lots of things you can plan in. Like it can be your fitness time, church time, family time. There's a bunch of things, non-negotiable things that you can block out for the whole month ahead. Does that make sense? So plan the month ahead. So the month might look like only 10% of your time might be blocked out for the month, but at least it's something. Yeah, it's already a framework. And then let's say you like taking Friday afternoons off to go and do fishing or go do an adventure. then you block out every Friday afternoon for the month, or you might block every Friday afternoon out for the whole year. And it's done. It's a commitment. It's done. You're not going to, that's it. That time's gone. So when you come to talk to that important client on the phone, he says, I've only got Friday afternoon. You say, oh, I'm really sorry. I've got that blocked out. I've got another appointment. What have you got on Monday? Otherwise what happens is people just steal your time, and the non-negotiable things just go out the window, and you get to the end of another year and you haven't achieved those most important things that you wanted to achieve, which was like, let's say Friday afternoon with the kids, or Wednesday afternoon pick up from school. Yeah,
that's really interesting.
All those things.
That's exactly what's happening to me all the time. Like,
and
actually, it probably gets a bit draining after a while as well.
Yeah,
you're not really sure where your time's going.
It gets draining. So time blocking allows you to protect your time, right? It protects your time because it's blocked out. It's done. That's an appointment. Like every time you block something, it's like an appointment with your doctor or or whatever, an appointment with yourself. For example, one thing I like to do weekly or twice a week at least is a walk with my wife. I do a hill walk, and so I block that time out. So a client can't book that time because it's there. It's done. It's booked out. But I know before I used to block that out, it was always just a bit of a, if we will, if we can, and it never happens, or it hardly ever happens, or there's all these sorts of things. So time blocking protects your time. It protects your energy as well, like you're saying, you get drained. And so one thing I did this year really, really consciously is I blocked out 2 or 3 lunch times a week with Carmen to go and have lunch with her at school, because it's her last year at public school. And I was regretful that I didn't do enough of it the year before. So I blocked it out, and I'd block out the whole month. And then that fills my cup, because I go and do that and I get so much energy from doing that, because you feel so good that you pump for the afternoon. So you get more done anyway.
Yeah, that's really interesting way to look at it.
I always get, I have conversations with fathers who are in their 50s and 60s and have never done a school drop-off or pick-up, and now it's too late, their kids are gone and they've got terrible regrets. And they've got all these excuses, and I'm saying, no, if you talked to your boss and said how important this is to you, you could have worked it out. It's too late.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's gone. So, I'm a little bit brutal with people like that, because everyone can make excuses. Anyone can work 60 or 70 hour weeks. That's easy. But not anyone can block out their time deliberately and fill their cup with the things that matter the most. And that's my goal with the system, is that people have less regrets, because you're planning your time and you're being deliberate.
Yeah.
And if you're deliberate about everything you do, you live a better life. So like, let's say, what else are you struggling with? Maybe time for fitness each day? Are you struggling with that?
No, time for fitness is actually all right.
You're getting that done?
Yes, I think.
Okay, so give me an example. What's something you're struggling with each day that you just keep putting off, or each week? Is there anything? Or maybe
like following up appointments has been a bit of a struggle. I'm better with it now, but appointment notes with customers and following them up has always been a bit of a struggle. It'll take a long time to do that.
So you need to block out a time for that, right? Daily or weekly?
I do it, probably daily. You want to get fast back to your customers.
Brilliant. So you might block out 30 minutes a day, or you might block out 60 minutes a day, or whatever it is. Or you might even come up with a better system where you voice note all those notes to your internal support person, and they do all the typing for you and put it into the CRM, or they send those follow-up emails to the customer. Yeah?
Mm.
So think about that as well, because I'm all about helping you compress time and using tools like WhatsApp to do that. Yep. Okay. Yep. So the other thing is, so we've got plan the week, plan the month, time blocking, and then recording your actual. Okay. This is so important. If you don't record where your actual time goes, if you don't after every appointment, update your planner, where did that time go, using the actual column, same style, you just do that same little little tick, and then block it out. Morning routine took me from 6 a.m. till 6 a.m. That 6 a.m. till 7, and then had a meeting with Joey, and then down we went. So if you don't record that, you can't get better. You just won't get better, because you won't know where your leakages are. You won't know where the time's leaking to. So record your actual. So make sure that's happening. And that's what the planner has.
Never do that.
No. So this is where you learn. And then you review each day. And now the cool thing about the 2026 planner, on the Sunday page, it now has half the page dedicated to reviewing your week. So there's a start, stop, keep, and you can review where your leakages were. So you can really write it down and go. So this is because I've been doing this on my Sunday page anyway, but now we've put it in there as a tool. Have you seen that?
No,
have you got your 2026 one?
I ordered the planner, but it hasn't come yet.
Okay, I'll follow that up. It should have arrived by now. So there's and then there's a month page. There's a page at the end of every month now to review the whole month, and so you can look back and review everywhere that your time leaked, or you can look at things like, let's say my creative time in the morning it's not working. Right, let's shift it till middle of the day, or doing the gym at 10 a.m. is not working. Let's shift it to 6 a.m. So you're learning all the time.
Yeah,
most people don't do this. They don't stop and adjust and fix and improve. They just carry on with the same old crap every day and wonder why life doesn't get better.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And you might find a particular time of day customers answer their phones better than what they would.
Correct. So your golden hour might go from being 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and you might go, right, they're answering their phone from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. From now on, that's my new thing I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start blocking out that time for my golden hour every day. Or my quote follow-up or whatever it is. Another thing is use lots of acronyms like creative time. That might be when you do your posting on LinkedIn. You might do some writing, all that sort of stuff. Call it CT. Family time can be FT. Follow-up is FU. What else is there? What else do I use? Morning routine, MR. Evening routine, ER. So just use some acronyms. I'm a big fan of acronyms and use them in the planner so that it makes your planning fast and easy. And you can even create a list of acronyms if you want at the front of your planner. Right, so are we answering some questions?
Yeah,
is this making sense?
That's really good. The only other thing I had a question about was just the calls and voice notes. What do you use that for?
Okay, sweet. So I'll show you a typical day. Well, we're just looking at July right now. So these are all calls of people that the day before I wanted to call, and probably a couple came into my head during the day, so I just write them down. Some days, I'll show you some days. Some days are insane. Some days I run out of room on that call page because these are people that I've either sent a voice note to or phoned or want to phone or am planning to phone. So when I'm doing my planning on the Sunday or Saturday, I try and plan out all the people, or as many as I can of people. Like I'm committing to myself, I'm going to call this guy on Monday, I'm going to call this guy on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. And
would you use that for your golden hour?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'll give you an example from this week. Actually, I had a couple of insane days, pretty crazy days. One was, look at Tuesday. That's Tuesday, and that's not all the people I call. I call more on top of that, but those are the ones that I wanted to follow up on, quotes, proposals, stuff like that. And beside it, I put LM if I left a message on their phone, or VN for voice note, or tick if I actually talk to them. And you'll see often I'll put an arrow beside someone's name and, so LM and an arrow, and I'll try them again the next day. Like if let's say it's a client I know is hot, I really want to get them over the line, got to sign them up, and, it's going to take 2 or 3 days of follow up just to bam, bam, bam. Then I'll put their name in, phone them, leave a voice note, text them, and then do the same again tomorrow if I can't get through. And then until I nail them and get them over the line. Whether that's a business gym program or growth hub or, any of our programs. So same for you. If you've got hot to trot, you're going to close this guy. You need to really be methodical using this. That's what this page is for. So nothing slips through the cracks. And I know you've got a CRM for that. I know everyone's got a CRM. Most people have got a CRM. But this is like insurance really. And it's like planning as well. So, we have a great CRM. We use Growth Hub, obviously, because that's the one we sell, and the one we created and designed and developed. But I still use this calls and voice notes to either plan calls or record some calls that I've done, or both.
Interesting. Yep.
Does that make sense? So if I look back in time, I'm just scrolling through pages now, and there's so many of these days. Like here's a couple of days in a row. Like Wednesday, Thursday is in October. It's like, it's really, really full of people I've called and then, so it's like, and that's Saturday, Sunday. Big fan of planning Saturday and Sunday as well, by the way, because, you get so much more done. I've had so many clients start using this system and go, oh, my Saturdays, I used to just get nothing done, or I used to get to the end of Saturday and wonder where the day went. Now, by 12 o'clock in the day, I've done my fitness, I've cleaned the gutters, I've taken the trailer to the dump, I've done this, because they blocked their time out and they committed to themselves on Friday night, this is what Saturday is going to look like. So it's like making a commitment to yourself, making all these mini appointments, right, in your diary. Your time blocking is like making appointments. That's all it is, like taking the trailer to the dump. It's an appointment. Taking, I don't know, taking your kids to swimming. It's an appointment. All these things and all blocked out. So you just know. And the other thing too, it's so satisfying looking back on your day. I can just look back on, 99% of my days and go, man, I left it all on the field because I gave it everything I had. I couldn't have squeezed anything else in. But I got my balance. I got my 5 Fs, I got my family time. I got my business time, which is finance. I got my fitness done. I got, you know what I'm saying? Like you got that balance as well. So it's not like you're just doing 12 hours of work or 15 hours of work. You look back and see that, because I can look back, I'm going to give you some examples actually. This should help a bit. Is if I look back on even this last month, I can look at my family time, which is FT, and I have kid time, which is KT, and I can look back on every day and see massive chunks of time, because one of my goals is 4 hours a day with the kids minimum, and that's a massive chunk of time. I've got friends on Habitshare, by the way, that have 30 minutes a day with their kids, which is, I think, criminal. And so what I try and do is do the 4 hours, and so I can look back in here and I can just see all that time. So you can look back in the week and go, well, yes, I can always be a better dad. Yes, I can always be a better husband, but I really tried hard, And you've got evidence.
That's really interesting. Exactly. Yeah, and again, probably just goes back to holding yourself accountable, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's good. That makes actually a lot more sense now.
So is this helping? Like this is going to help you actually use the tool better in the framework?
Yeah. I think so. Tell me, do you must carry that planner everywhere you go, do you?
Oh, it goes everywhere. Yeah, like it's like my my phone's in my pocket or my back pocket, and I've got the planner just like if I'm working in the garage on the weekend, the planner's in the garage, because an idea will pop into my head. I'll think, oh, I haven't called that customer, and I'll be in the middle of making an improvement in the garage, and I'll write in there, I'm going to call this guy on Monday, call Bob or follow up Bob. Or it might be like an idea pops into your head about, I don't know, some improvement for the business or something like that. Or it might even just be something I think, oh, I must block out that time for the week ahead. So yeah, it's just glued to me. And it's if I'm in the ute, it's in the ute. It's in the dashboard.
Love it. That's so good.
So yeah, it has to become a real habit. And I have a briefcase as well. So if I'm traveling, it goes in the I can cart it around with me as well. But mostly it's on the dashboard, or it's in the garage with me, or it's handy to where I am with the kids.
Love it. Yeah, I guess it all just comes back to whether you've got the discipline to use it or not.
Yeah, it does. It literally does. Like it's only great if you use it.
Exactly right. No, that makes sense. I think it's just on me to action all this now. No, that's good. I've set up a good news chat, by the way, and
legend. Good job.
Yeah,
good job. Go on to it. Yep.
And instigated the daily momentum, the morning momentum meetings.
Nice, awesome.
Yeah,
well done.
But yeah,
well done. So you're off to a roaring start.
Everyone's fairly energized, and we had a good end to the year, like sales wise, and invoiced orders wise. So we finished it off strong. So I think everyone's just pumped, and everyone's actually wanting to get back into it now, which is good.
Yeah, that's good news. That was a great ending.
Yeah. No, everyone put in the hard yard. So, that's awesome. Good. All
okay,
right.
So just before you finish, I'll just quickly make sure you're covered on. So we've talked about really the most key things, but I'm just going to give you one more, and that is making sure that you are using ABC 1, 2, 3, because in that task list, it's basically like a brain dump. You get everything out of your head, and like in this part here, I'll show you the part that you're using at the moment. I just want to make sure this is clear for anyone else that watches this recording. Is that there's your action list there for the day, and that can change. Like during the day, you might add stuff to that. I often add stuff to the action list during the day. So just because I've planned my whole week out and planned the night before and all of that, hey, top tip there. Plan the night before as well. Night before. Don't wake up in the morning with your time blocking or your plan not fully filled out. So I said plan the week, but when you plan the week, you're really only blocking out probably 50% of your time. Does that make sense? But when you plan the night before, you're filling out the rest of those gaps in the day. Because if you wake up in the morning and half your day is unblocked or not time blocked, that's where you get massive leakage. And I can tell you this firsthand, because every time if I slip up on that at all and I leave some gaps, you fill those gaps with B priorities instead of A priorities. That's just what happens. You fill it with pebbles and sand instead of big rocks. So massive tip for you, night before, spend 10, 15 minutes. I never go to bed without blocking out the rest of my day. So I wake up in the morning, even if I had a crappy night's sleep, I wake up and I've got a full plan to follow, a roadmap. That's a massive secret and a massive hack. And then using ABC 1, 2, 3 is so important, because your brain dump, and then you try and pick out of that big list. Let's say you've got 10 actions that you've written down in your action list. Try and just pick out 3 A's, and so try not to do more than the 3 A's. I often do more because I've got more. I might have 6 quotes to do. So for me, that's all A's, because they lose value by the minute. So if I've got a brand new quote to do, I'll do 6 quotes. That's A1, A2, A3, A4, and I'll start obviously with the biggest opportunity. So it might be Bob Jones, who wants a $12,000 cold calling program, A1, and then blah blah blah. Brad, who might be a $3,000 gym member, that might be A4, A5. You know what I'm saying? So whatever, just make sure you prioritize. So then you go A, and then you go, oh, that's a B, that's a B, that's a B, that's a C, that's a C, and now I'm going to choose A1. Yep, that's definitely number 1. If nothing else happens today, I've got to get this done. That's an A2. If I get A1 done, and then A3, and then that's B1, B2, B3, and then C1, C2. But you block in. This is the power of blocking. You're blocking in your day. You're going to block in A1, then you're going to block in A2, block in A3, and you might block the whole day out and find there's no room left for anything else. But you know that you've done the most important things today.
And you know at least where your time's gone.
Correct.
Final question though. What do you do for unexpected calls or calls you weren't expecting from a customer, and they might take a bit of your time? Would you do you take those calls, or do you wait till a particular time?
So if a big customer calls in and so here's the thing. If you're already time blocked and you're in the middle of something, let's say it's a big quote, and you're focused on that, that's an appointment. So there's 2 thoughts of opinion on this. For me, I'm a big fan of I just stay on that task and get it done, and I'll ring that guy back. So as soon as I see his number calling in case he doesn't leave a message, I'll just write his name straight in the planner, and then I'll write it. And let's say I'm working on a quote here, right? And Bob calls about here. Then I'm going to write here. I'm going to add it into my plan. Call Bob. So as soon as I finish that quote, he's my first thing. So I'm going to interrupt. So my day might stretch out by 15, 30, 40 minutes. But at least after I've called Bob, I can record in my call Bob. So that completely stuffed up my day, but it's a huge opportunity. I haven't stuffed up my day, but it's put my plan off track, but it's a huge opportunity. Now, actually, I'm going to scribble this out and I'm going to quote Bob right here. He's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to quote Bob and push that other activity out, because Bob is a $50,000 customer. And if I quote it straight away, I could win it straight away.
Love it.
Yep. So you absolutely adjust if you need to.
Yep. No, I love it, because that's the issue I'm victim to at the moment. I get a lot of just random calls from therapists, and it might be about a $20 issue, and I'm spending a lot of time on the phone to them.
Yeah.
So that's good if I can
So do a callback block in your day. So each day, if you're getting that bunch, have a block in your day. It might be from 12 noon to 1 p.m., which is your callback time. So that's where you call back everybody. Or you might have two golden hours. You have a golden hour in the morning and a golden hour in the afternoon. The golden hour in the afternoon is to call back everyone that you've missed, all those therapists, and have those discussions then. When your energy is a bit lower, you've done all your hardcore stuff, might not be till 3 or 4 p.m. that you call back all those therapists.
Yeah.
Because you've used up your energy on all the good stuff, all the proactive stuff when you need your mental energy. And by calling people at the end of the day, it gives you energy anyway, so it's like, do it at the end of the day. Maybe,
that's cool.
that you can call that CB, your callback time. So so people say, because people say to me all the time, oh, I've got a reactive role, I can't possibly block my day out. But that's a load of nonsense, because there's so many things in your day, if you analyze it, that can be planned in. And even if you've got a reactive role, let's say you're customer service and your job is inbound, that's fine. Block out all the inbound slots, that's fine. So it might be 90% of your day, that's cool. But plan in other little slots where you can, where it's a bit quieter, to do some other key stuff. Even in a very reactive role, you can even better. It's still better, because as soon as you get off the phone, you're straight back to your plan.
Yeah.
Most people get off the phone and then spend the next 5 minutes figuring out what to do next. Terrible.
Yeah.
So we had all our customer service team at Premier Group using this system. And people try and tell me, oh, you can't do it for inbound call. Rubbish. Block your day out. Here's all the quotes that need to be done. Here's all the stuff that needs to be done. Because there's still a lot of proactive work that a customer service person needs to do, right?
Yes.
It might be sending quotes. It might be sending emails. It might be, who knows? So many things.
It could be following up quotes. Yeah.
Correct. So you still plan it all in. Yes, it might get interrupted all day long, but as soon as the phone is down, you're back to your plan again, instead of spending 5 or 10 minutes procrastinating and figuring out where to go next.
Yeah.
So you save massive amounts of time. Okay, so does that cover your questions?
That's it. Thank you.
Awesome. That's brilliant. Are you sure that covers everything? So I want to make sure you really, you've got no reason not to use the planner and get better at it.
No, I think that does genuinely. I've got the action list was the last thing that I didn't quite understand, and you've just explained that. And I've also noticed at the front of the book there's actually some very helpful tips in there as well.
Yeah.
So I'll read through that, and then I guess the biggest thing for me is just prioritizing the things that I want to have as habits and make sure I'm blocking out time for them.
Yeah, awesome. On that note, this year. Sorry, you go, Brad.
No, I was just going to say that action list you mentioned before about planning your week ahead. You'd brain dump a whole week in that action list, would you?
So planning the week ahead, I'll block in all my appointments. Yep, that are already in my digital calendar, and I'll block in all the things that are already in my morning routine. In my routine, that routine template.
Yep.
Yeah. So a lot of it you're just blocking in without even putting anything on your action list.
Got ya.
Then on my action list, I'll use that. Yeah, I'll fill in, like, let's say 2 or 3 or 4 things each day that I want to be my non-negotiables. Like even today, I'll still, if I look back on a week, there's some common themes would be. Yeah, there was a period in this week here where I wanted to do 50 follow-ups every day. So I wrote in on the top of every action list, 50 follow-up, 50 follow-up, 50 follow-up, 50 follow-up, because that was a really important thing to me that week. I wanted to do a crazy sprint on, onboarding new clients or hitting up new leads or whatever it was. I can't remember what that was for. And then there was another week where often if I'm like struggling with motivation for fitness, I'll just write in gym, 10,000 kgs volume or 20,000 kgs. Like I'll write it in every day as an action. And then I'll write in, so there's a bunch of stuff you will write in, or it might be you're working on some website improvements or brochure improvements, and it's going to take the whole week, but you want to spread it out in time blocks. So you'll go brochure improvements. You can write it in because it feels good ticking that off every day. Feels great. That's the other thing too. A lot of this is psychological, mental, but because every time you tick something off, it's a win. And all those small wins lead to the big wins. And so I'm a big fan. If you look at my action list every day, pretty much my action list is huge, because I even write down small things that only take me 5 minutes. It might even be something that's just come across my plate and I decide, no, I'm going to action that right now because it's going to add value. and I'll scribble it in my diary, action it, tick it off because it feels good.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you're getting
momentum. Does that make
sense?
Yeah. Momentum. And otherwise you look back on the day and you wonder where your time's gone, but I can always look back on my day and go, wow, that was full on. And even, let's look at Wednesday, the 10th of September. There was, a full action list, ticked off half of them, pushed half of them out to the next day and put a cross beside a few of them because I don't know why. Maybe I just didn't achieve them and they weren't that important. I don't know. I can't remember those ones. But so every day you're looking back on a lot of ticks.
I love it.
That's
really good.
So yeah, leverage that as well.
I guess the biggest thing as well is like some days I just waste so much time that you feel like a loser because the day's gotten on top of you. But if I can get on top of the day, and actually feel like I've won the day, that's the biggest thing for me.
That's a great feeling, and it's the difference between being motivated I feel really genuinely motivated every day of the week, Saturday and Sunday as well, because I have this system, and if I don't use the system, I know what happens. I'll get a bit down or I'll get a bit anxious or whatever. So I just use it every day because it gives me a competitive advantage. It gives me, it keeps me positive, keeps me motivated, keeps me inspired. Even if I'm not achieving my biggest life goals, at least I know I'm doing my freaking best.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, that's good, Bernard. Thanks very much for your time. And
awesome.
Especially over Christmas, that's very kind of you to.
No stress. No,
45 minutes,
kids. So. I'm going to go and spend the rest of the day with the kids today. So with the fam. Okay.
No worries. Good on you, mate.
Thanks, Brad. Great to catch up.
Cheers. You too. Bye.
All right. Enjoy your time. See ya.